Hello. So I wanted to film a short intro to this video. So I had collected a bunch of footage throughout the month of June of how the garden was growing and changing, and we've had like very kind of wild weather patterns around here over the last month or so. It's been like super hot and then suddenly just a ton of rain, and then switching between like drought-like conditions to heavy rain. And so while the garden has been doing pretty well and I'm really proud of it and all the things we've produced, it's been very up and down and we've just had a lot going on. So I wanted to just put in a short intro before I show some of the footage that I took over the month of June, how the garden was growing and changing. And now it's developed quite a bit. So I'm going to show y'all how that changes. Also show y'all our first little tomato harvest of the season, because the tomatoes have been absolutely wonderful. So that's been one really bright point for sure. So now we're going to go into some footage of the garden over the month of June so that y'all can kind of see how it grew and changed. So thank you so much for being here, and I hope you enjoy. So starting off here, we're really at the beginning of the month of June. I was so proud of my zinnias, and those are my Italian white sunflowers. I've just been so excited to grow zinnias. These are my teddy bear sunflowers that I absolutely love. And we have more of the zinnias. I was really proud of how they were growing. They looked so beautiful. I loved all the different colors that we were able to see. And those teddy bear sunflowers, we got so much bee activity. Unfortunately, as you'll see a little bit later, the teddy bear sunflowers ended up being a little bit shorter lived than I wanted them to be, but I kept reminding myself that seeing the bees and all of that really is the most important thing. We were able to support the pollinators there, but as y'all heard in the last video, when the deer came in and ate all the leaves, I think that really was the last thing for those sunflowers. And our cucumbers have been doing really well. They actually now in July are not doing quite as well because we've had so much crazy weather, but these spring burpless cucumbers have been producing like crazy. And now we've moved forward a little bit in time. I believe this was about a week after, and you're able to see the zinnias were growing and so many more were popping up. The bee activity has been absolutely crazy, so it's been really such a highlight to be able to watch the bees and all of these flowers and just really seeing them pollinate and things that this is really why I planted the garden, you know, to be able to feel like I was contributing in that way, and they're very pretty to look at. So there is our basil and our tomatoes at this time. This is when I really started to notice that these plants were getting really tall. The basil has also been doing really well with all of the hot weather. So our tomatoes just absolutely going crazy, and the zinnias just continued to pop up in all these different colors and making the garden look so absolutely beautiful. And here we're able to see some of the sun gold tomatoes. This is a variety that I've been absolutely loving this year and will harvest a little bit later in the video. And these are our orange currant tomatoes. They're so tiny, but they're so delicious, and this plant has been so prosperous. So many of these have been coming in really strong. And at this point, our peas were done for the year, but we got one really solid harvest. Our potatoes have also done pretty well. The weather has impacted them now as well, but these purple potatoes, those are definitely the best. Our petunias have been loving all of the heat though. We got these black velvet ones and the purple ones, and I just really love being able to mix and match the different colors. We've also got some tomatoes up on the porch. And I just continue to take so many shots of the bees because they are just so cute, and I love watching them at work, the way that they gather and move from place to place and carry the pollen around with them. It's just so like magical. We just go outside and watch the bees all day. It's just been such an enjoyable part of this experience. We've also been getting some insane marigold growth. These plants are absolutely gigantic. I believe these were the crackerjack marigold variety. So they are absolutely huge and have been doing really well. The bees have also been loving those. Here's some more of those marigolds with all the bees flying around. So the marigolds have been doing absolutely amazing. As you can see, all of that bee activity happening there. But yeah, I really never expected the plants to get this massive. And they just continue to get bigger and bigger. And they seem to be doing well with all of the crazy heat and weather that we've been having. So that's been really good to see too. But they've really been taking over the walkway and just sort of the garden more generally. So that's been really cool. And we're deciding what we're going to put in these beds now next to the marigolds, because we've got a little bit more room in there as the season has gone on. So we've been able to watch the bees keep pollinating. We've been able to watch all of our plants really just continue to grow, even though we've had some hardship with some of our plants. A lot of the flowers are really loving it. So that has been absolutely amazing to watch, and it's just made me so proud. We have some tomatoes just starting to come in. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest our very cute little sun gold. Let's see if I see any more. And here we have our orange currants, which I really did not do enough research about all these types of tomatoes that we planted that we got from a family friend. But look how cute they are. These are orange currants. And there are so many more coming in. So I can see that our Italian basil was it's been getting really hot. So it's starting to almost flower. And so for basil, you kind of want to harvest right above the node, because that will encourage the plant to branch out. So I'm just going to go ahead and harvest some of that. Same thing with our opal basil. Just want to encourage it to spread out and not to flower, because that is when it will stop producing. Thai basil seems to be doing pretty well. We have some of our heirloom tomatoes coming in here. Got some more coming in down here. Some over here as well. And some of these, which I believe are the Prairie Fire. I'm really excited. We have lots of cucumbers growing in. We've harvested a few so far. I need to do some cleaning up some of our branches down here. But lots of cucumber coming in. And our marigolds are just going absolutely crazy. We've got a bee putting in some work. But this plant is huge. All of the different marigold varieties really vary in size so much. This one is gigantic. This one's coming in too. It's got more of an orangey color. This one's more yellow. And then we have this marigold's about to be giant. There's the tomato plant. Here's the tomato plant, and then there's the marigold. Giant. And then I'm really loving all of the zinnia colors that we have going right now. So many different colors. Sunflowers. We've got a branch of our sun golds coming down here. Peas are all done, but we've got some dill and parsley. We've got them in a more shaded area. It's been really hot and they were getting cooked. So I've decided that I'm going to pick a bouquet to take inside with some of our flowers. So I think I'm gonna do this zinnia. And there are more buds coming in, but this one has been my favorite. Here's our first zinnia for our bouquet. Now where did I put my harvest basket? Okay. I gotta balance it. Definitely top heavy. I think the second zinnia is gonna be this orange guy right here. Next, I am going to do one of these pink ones. Now we're going to do this sunflower right here, Italian white sunflower. And we are also going to take one of these teddy bear sunflowers. We have so many cucumbers growing in here of all shapes and sizes. If you can see, there is a goldfinch currently eating sunflower seeds from our Italian white sunflowers over there. And here is our little bouquet that we picked. So we've got some zinnias, the teddy bear sunflower, and Italian white sunflowers.